Hello, Jeff here. As you can see, I've got three tone bars here. This is the Shub SP2, this is a BJS bar, and this is the Shub RR2. And I want to talk a little bit about each of these. So a question has come up on the forum here recently, and that has led to a discussion on the forum. And the discussion involves some of the questions that I had initially when I first started learning to play, which wasn't that long ago. I've only been at this for a couple of months now. But some questions have come up about this style bar, and so I want to talk a little bit about this, and maybe some folks will find this helpful. So this is the Shub RR2. This is the model named after Robert Randolph. And what's interesting about this bar is the profile, right? So you see that it's not a round bar. There are grooves cut down both sides of the thing and also across the kind of the back of it here. And the idea is the thing fits very nicely in your hand. You've got your thumb fits in the groove on one side, and your index finger fits in the groove on the other side. And then on the top, your index finger rides. And that design, to me anyway, it gives a really positive grip. The thing feels really good in my hand. It's very easy to control. It's easy to pick up and set back down when you want to do that quickly. It provides just a really nice feel. Like I said, a really positive grip. The main thing that I don't like about this bar is, if you notice look at the top and the bottom edge there. They're the same. This thing is symmetrical, but if you look at the edge there, you'll see there's really a 90-degree angle here, and that 90-degree angle catches on the string. So when I'm trying to slide the bar across the strings, it's snagging on the strings. Also, when I draw it back, you can see it's plucking the strings as the strings fall off of that 90-degree edge. And certainly you can develop a technique to play this thing and not have those problems. But that's the first thing that struck me when I started trying to work with this thing, is that's a little bit of that's something that you'd have to deal with. So I don't like that it snags on the strings as I push them across as I push across the strings like that. That's a little bit of a problem that you'd have to develop some technique to work around. So that's the RR2. If we look at the SP2, I don't know if you can read that there, but it says Shub SP2 in there. This has basically the same profile as the one we just looked at. See, it's got the grooves down both sides and also the groove down the back for your index finger. But an important difference here is, notice this is rounded off, right? There's no angle there. So this has kind of a rounded nose, and that allows the thing to slide smoothly across the strings, which I like. So this has the same positive grip. It feels really good in my hand. I feel like I've got really good control over this thing. It's easy to pick up and set down. I really like the way this feels. And it's got that rounded nose, so it slides across the strings very easily. And there's enough material here that if you want to get up on the nose a little bit to play individual strings, you can do that, and you can still slide around, even with, I don't know if you can tell from that angle, but when you lift the thing up, I'm exaggerating it now, but when you lift the thing up on the nose, you can still slide back and forth like that, and it's very smooth. I like that. And then the BJS bar, the more traditional round bar, this bar just has a really nice tone to it. It's a really heavy. There's quite a bit more mass in this bar than there is in like the SP2. There's just a lot more material here, right? Obviously, with this thing, a lot of material has to be removed from the bar to create those grooves. So the BJS bar, I think, has a nicer tone, and I think I get more sustain out of this bar, and I think the mass is a big part of that. Maybe that's the only factor, but it's probably one of the factors. Is taking away all that mass costs a little bit in terms of tone and sustain. So this is certainly the traditional thing. not necessarily BJS. BJS makes great bars, but the traditional thing is to have a round bar with this shape. I think, and I'm still working at this and trying to figure out what I really like and what I don't. But I think I'm going to like this. It feels really good in the hand, and I just feel like I've got more control with this bar than I do with the round bar. But I also think I like the tone and the sustain I get out of this bar better. So maybe it will work out that the more and more I play, maybe I'll get more comfortable controlling this guy. And I don't really have trouble controlling it. I can pick it up and I can move it around, but the other just feels more comfortable and I like the feel of the SP2 bar. But I wonder if just with practice I'll get more and more comfortable with this, and if that turns out to be the case, then I'll have the benefit of what I think is better tone in this bar, plus the other won't necessarily be more comfortable or easier to control if I can get better controlling this one. But again, the RR2, the first one we looked at, this bar, like I said, I like the feel of the bar because of the grooves, but the snagging on the strings is an issue. And I know there are very good players who use this style of tone bar. So certainly this can be mastered, but that angle, the problems caused by the angle on that leading edge, that's something that you'll have to deal with if you're going to try to play with that bar. That problem does not exist, or that issue does not exist with the SP2, again, because of this rounded front edge. I really like the feel of this bar. So that's just a quick rundown or a few thoughts about these different styles of bars. Hopefully some of you will find that informative and maybe helpful. And that's all. So happy picking.